Okay, YouTubers, I'm back. We've got a Glock Model 78 field knife, and you guys have seen me throwing these lately. I've got a black one I usually throw. This is kind of a carry knife I'm experimenting with. I might have a custom sheath or something made. I carry it in my boot or something. But I was going to tell you a little bit about this knife. I really like them. They're somewhere around $30 and they're virtually indestructible. If you throw them a lot and you use nails and stuff on your wooden targets, you hit a nail a couple times, you might break the tip off or something. Or if you just throw a lot. We have had one break, but I mean this is after months of throwing every single day, But back to the knife, these are great knives. They got 6.5-inch blades. They weigh about 7 ounces. The blade steel is 1095 with a Rockwell hardness of 55. They've got some kind of really nice, slick powder coat finish on these, and they have a what's called a combat edge on them. It's not a very nice angle, for slicing and stuff like that. So you'll have to sharpen these knives a little bit, put your own edge on them. But this has just got the factory edge, and it's sharp enough. And if you're going to just throw these knives, you really don't need the blade to be that sharp. You're just worried about the point, and they definitely have a nice point on them. Now, if you'll watch the Nothing Fancy videos, he talks about, what the idea is behind the knife, the philosophy of use. And of course, this is a stabbing knife. It's a bayonet style, much like the M1 carbine, M16 bayonets. Around a 7-inch blade, purely for stabbing. You can pry with these knives, but probably wouldn't recommend a whole lot of it. But they do have a pretty thick back to them. I would say between 1/8 and 1/4 inch or something. Just, looking at it, guessing. But I do have a older M16 style bayonet here we can compare. I believe this is the M8. Let me move these magazines out of the way. Okay, here is your M4, M16 style bayonet. And as you can see, they put an edge on the back side of these knives. And Glocks and these newer bayonet style knives, they have what's called a false edge on the back. But great stabbing knives, Be great if you're wanting to, get into knife fighting or just knife throwing. It's a great backup knife. If you're a police officer or a climber, outdoorsy person. Not really that great for slashing, but the Austrian army, I believe they're rangers and stuff, they carry this knife, and they helped Glock develop these back in the late 70s into the 80s. If you watch the guy from Austria, he's called, that's his YouTube name. He's actually, Austrian, and he explains a little bit more behind the knife and how they came to develop it. But the knife does have a little cap here in the rear end of the knife. You can pop that out. There's a place for a nail if you wanted to insert a stick or a dowel rod and maybe go spear fishing, something like that. These knives, they don't rust too bad, especially if you put a little white lithium grease on them or something. Keep a little bit of oil. I tend to go with the grease because it's not going to get wiped off or, you know, get washed off or anything. But I'm really happy with these little knives. They're really cool, they're really light, and they throw really well. 10 feet, I can hit a playing card almost every time now. I'll try to put some more videos up here throwing, but I really like these little knives. I'm really happy with them. For 30 bucks, you can't beat them. Go check them out, guys.